This is my son, Andrew. On June 10th, 1996, he was killed by a teenager with a gun originally purchased for a convicted murderer by a straw purchaser who later went to prison for buying over 200 guns for people who couldn't pass a background check, all from the same suburban gun dealer. Andrew was 19.
When I was 3 years old, I was playing at a neighbor's house. The boy who lived there, also 3, found his father's gun and snuck up on me thinking he was holding a water gun. Holding the gun behind my left ear, he pulled the trigger and the bullet exited under my right eye.
I need to tell you about my father, Lester. He was always on time for work. He arrived at 7:45 a.m. sharp to his business here in Chicago. I only wish my father would have been late to work on January 19th, 1999. Instead, he arrived right on time, 1 day short of his 53rd birthday, and was murdered, killed by a man with a firearm.
The night of July 1st, 1977, I was out with my 2 girlfriends, Patty and Carol. We had just come back from a neighborhood pub, and we were outside my apartment building when 2 boys walked by and yelled something at us. I became uncomfortable and told my friends that perhaps we should go to my apartment. We walked into the foyer of my building. Patty and I were next to the security door when all of a sudden the 2 boys burst through the door. One of them had his gun pointed directly at me. Suddenly, Patty began to scream, and the gunman turned the gun on her and shot her first in the chest, and then when she turned around, he shot her in the back.
When I got the call that Andrew had been shot, I rushed to St. Francis Hospital and walked into the emergency room. Andrew was on a table, naked, with a doctor pumping on his chest. I was escorted to a waiting room where eventually a surgeon came in and explained that Andrew had a huge hole in his heart and she couldn't save him.
I survived, and I don't take that for granted. But my childhood was one of monthly doctor's appointments and surgeries. I've spent a lifetime dealing with the physical, financial, and emotional trauma of this accident, as has my family.
My youngest son, Clinton, who was 8, would stand in the middle of the street in front of cars because he wanted to be with Andrew. Andrew's twin brother, Sam, quit school, he quit his job, and retreated to his room where he sketched for months, working out his grief. 2 of Andrew's closest friends spent time in the psych ward.
Patty was not shot once, but deliberately twice, execution style. And the detectives told us that if the gunman had had more bullets, it was likely we all would have died.
This isn't just a problem.